I quit working traditional nursing, traditional 9 to 5 nursing. However, I am still a nurse, and it made me a better nurse. And I'm going to share with you how it made me a better nurse. If you're new here, my name is Azure. I am your favorite holistic nurse coach and healer for your body, mind, and soul. Okay, so let's get into the video. So, just a little history of my nursing career and journey. I am one of those people who, forgive the planes. I'm one of those people who have always wanted to be a nurse. Like, I actually love being a nurse. When I was little, I was dressing up in family members' scrubs, and then I had close family members who were always in and out of the hospital, and witnessing the nurses take care of them, I just had this desire to be in that role. And also around the house growing up, I was just always the nurturer and one of the nurturers and nourishing people. And so graduated nursing school, of course, which it was challenging for me because I believed that it was challenging. But anyway, so then I was working bedside as a nurse for years. I switched to case management nursing. Before then, I actually received a nursing award within the first 3 years of being a nurse, and it was a small hospital. And then I got promoted to supervisor that 4th year. Honestly, I got demoted because I was too nice. I had no boundaries back then. But so then I switched to case management and travel nursing eventually. During towards the middle of my nursing career, I got this pull. It actually had nothing to do with nursing. I got this pull that I was missing something in my life. I felt like there was a void. This is back when I was a Christian. And so I was asking God, like, what else do I need? I thought that I needed love. I hadn't met a partner yet. I mean, I'm still single, but I hadn't met a partner yet. And so I figured maybe that was it. And it ended up being which is so strange. I was on contract in LA, and I saw this clairvoyant healer, like her advertisement. I just literally stumbled upon it, and I had so much trepidation about going to see her because I was Christian back then. I was scared. I was like, but anyway, prayed about it, ended up going to go and see her. And she tapped into parts of me that no one knew about, the intuitive gifts that I had of being able to see the unseen and dreams and prophecies, which, I hadn't paid much attention to, especially since I was a woman growing up in the church. It wasn't really quite, not advertised, but there weren't a whole lot of prominent prophetess in the church or whatever. So I didn't see it a lot, and no one acknowledged it in me. They usually acknowledge it in the males around me, that kind of gift. But so when I saw her, and she told me what was available to me in terms of spiritual gifts and how I could help people, I was blown away. And so I went on this journey of learning how to be a healer while I was still a nurse, of how to be a healer. And I had an apprenticeship actually with her, and all of these retreats, and I was traveling out of the country, going to Mexico, and learning more about that gifting. So while I was a nurse, I started to feel this. I didn't know it was burnout, but if you're a nurse, you know that the burnout, the exhaustion, or even if you're a healthcare professional, especially the burnout, the exhaustion, and not just, it doesn't have to be from a 9-to-5 job. It could be housewives, whatever, especially for women. These cycles of burnout. And so since I was a travel nurse, I started taking sabbaticals. I took 3 sabbaticals where I took long periods of time off. I thought that it was normal that you get exhausted from work, that you work hard. That's what we were programmed. You go to work, you work hard, you get exhausted, you go on a vacation for a couple days or a week or whatever, and then you come back. But my body, mind, and soul, that's why I'm a holistic nurse now, there was a fragment in it, and I couldn't figure it out. So eventually, with some internal reflection and discovering more about myself, and I was seeing clients actually as a soul, I called myself a soul coach back then, kind of still am. So I was seeing clients off and on all of these years while I was a nurse. But this last year, I decided that I needed to leave nursing. And when I decided that, my heart dropped and I couldn't figure it out. And I do know that the programming is, if you're not in a traditional 9-to-5 job, then you're not safe. You don't have security, but it was more than that. And I realized it was because I still love being a nurse. I still love being a nurse. I will always be a nurse, and I'm still soothing my clients in the same way I was soothing patients, right? Only when I was a nurse, because I was so burnt out and exhausted and working so hard and so depleted, I wasn't as present with my patients. I just wasn't. I know, like, oh, you got the nursing award and whatever. I just wasn't. I was so tired and so depleted. And like I said, I actually wanted to be a nurse. I wasn't one of those people who was like in it solely for that. I'd like the money, but I wasn't in there solely for the money. So I came to the conclusion that I still have to claim my gift as a nurse, expand my work, and now when I'm with my clients, I have the practical science grounding of nursing, right? Which is such a beautiful gift. I'm so grateful. I don't regret any of those years being a nurse. And then also the spiritual unseen realms, right? So it's such a gift to be able to do that, to be able to tap into both, right? So I have the electromagnetic field of your heart that I can tap into, that frequency for my clients, and then also the unseen realms where I can go and retrieve medicine for them, right? So now I have a more whole practice that I can be more present, that I can be my whole self. I don't have to hide the parts of me that wanted to tune in as a clairvoyant, which is clear seeing healer, right? Now I get to be a healer and a nurse. So it really just expanded me. It makes me a better nurse. And maybe the same for you. Maybe you're a nurse, or maybe you work in tech, maybe you work in human resources. We don't have to be confined to these structures just because we have degrees in these areas, right? So I'm going to encourage you to customize your work. Maybe you don't. I have clients who actually, they like their 9-to-5 jobs, but they also want to tap into their spiritual gifts. They want to discover their spiritual gifts. Some people don't know that they even have gifts. Everyone does, by the way. We all do. But how is it customized to you? All right. You love liking, commenting, and subscribing to my videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.